On July 13th, while participating in a campaign rally for the U.S. elections, former President Donald Trump was the victim of an attack that nearly cost him his life. A shooter fired at Trump's head, but miraculously the bullet hit his ear and he survived. And the question remains, why do they want to kill this man so badly? In addition to the disagreements we know exist, and that lead people to commit criminal acts against the lives of political opponents, as happened in Brazil in 2018, could there be something more sinister behind this attack? In this video, I will show you that there is a belief in the United States about a curse that was cast against some of the country's presidents, including Donald Trump. And the most surprising thing of all, 7 of these presidents ended up dying during their terms. Is this true or just a big coincidence? And more, is there a malign plan to prevent Trump from returning to power in the most powerful nation on our planet? That's what we will see from now on. And, in the end, I will show you a video of Pastor Brandon Biggs. On March 14, 2024, he gave an interview to Pastor Steve Teocalante, saying that he had a vision that Donald Trump would suffer an attack and that the bullet would hit his right ear. You will be impressed by the richness of details in the vision God gave him, and you will know what will happen in the United States after this attack, according to the prophetic vision. And before we begin, I just ask you to subscribe to my channel. Also activate the notification bell, because I want to help you in your walk with God every day. Okay? Now let's go. Former President of the United States Donald Trump was holding a rally in the city of Butler, Pennsylvania, when gunshots were heard and the Republican was hit in the ear by a 20-year-old shooter named Thomas Crooks. He was killed by police. Unfortunately, a Trump supporter who was at the rally also died. The gunshots caused panic in the crowd, who tried to hide to save their lives. Trump touched his right ear with his right hand, then lowered his hand to look at it before kneeling behind the podium before Secret Service agents surrounded him. He stood up about a minute later, without his red cap with the inscription, "Make America Great Again," and could be heard saying, "Wait, wait," before the agents took him to a waiting vehicle to take him to the hospital. Then, with a bloody face, he raised his fist in the air and said to the people the following words, "Fight, fight, fight." As we know, there is a big fight in democratic countries between the right and the left. In fact, this division has never been so strong and so violent. But is that alone enough to justify the attack on Donald Trump? According to a popular belief in the United States, no. This is because it is believed that there is a curse called the Curse of Tippecanoe, which says that elected presidents would die in office. The origin of this curse comes from the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811, in which the governor of the Indiana Territory at the time, William Henry Harrison, led American forces against Native Americans, winning the battle. Frustrated with the defeat, the Native American chief, who was called Tecumseh, and his brother, who was known as the Prophet, allegedly cast a curse against Harrison and those who came after him. Harrison later became the 9th president of the United States and died of pneumonia just 1 month after taking office, in 1841. Since then, several elected presidents have tragically died in office, reinforcing the belief in the curse. William Henry Harrison, 1840, died of pneumonia in 1841. Abraham Lincoln, elected in 1860, was assassinated in 1865. James Garfield, elected in 1880, was assassinated in 1881. William McKinley, elected in 1900, was assassinated in 1901. Warren G. Harding, elected in 1920, died of a heart attack in 1923. Franklin Roosevelt, elected in 1940, died of a stroke in 1945. John Kennedy, elected in 1960, was assassinated in 1963. Ronald Reagan, elected in 1980, was shot in an assassination attempt but survived. And you might be thinking now that Trump is not currently in office as President of the United States. Yes, it is true. But he is in the race to return to the White House, and the people who support this theory believe that Trump managed to escape the native curse. And brothers, honestly, I do not believe in this theory. I do not think that the word of a man, no matter how important a prophet he was among his people and his religion, can change the destiny of so many people, especially of leaders who were raised by God to guide and govern a country like the United States of America. For me, all this was nothing more than an unfortunate coincidence. I also do not believe that Trump has the power to break a curse. He is as human as we are, full of flaws and defects, and has no spiritual power to undo anything alone. But I do believe that there is a great spiritual battle over these presidential elections in the United States this year, 2024. In fact, they are much more than just choosing the new leader of the most powerful and influential nation in the world. The U.S. elections represent a true spiritual battle, reflecting the confrontation of values that mean a lot to those who know the Word of God. In the elections, we see one side defending agendas very contrary to the Bible, such as abortion, drug liberalization, gender ideology, sex change in minors, among other topics that we know do not please the heart of God. And on the other side, we see a group that continues to defend Christian values and the traditional family. That is why this dispute between John Biden and Donald Trump not only interests the physical world in which we all live, but also the spiritual world. The division between the two main parties in the United States reflects deep differences that also shake this spiritual world. The Republicans, Trump's party, support policies that many Christians see as aligned with biblical teachings, such as pro-life issues and the defense of religious freedom. On the other hand, the Democrats of Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden promote a more progressive agenda, which includes liberal policies on issues such as abortion and sexual minority rights, which many Christians consider contrary to the Scriptures. The Apostle Paul teaches us in Ephesians 6 that our struggle is not against people, but against spiritual forces of evil. In politics, this manifests itself when laws and policies go against biblical principles, such as the protection of life and the promotion of a lifestyle that is in accordance with the Lord's commandments. For example, the issue of abortion is seen by us, Christians, not just as a legal problem, but as a deep spiritual issue, a direct attack on the gift of life that God has given us. Similarly, the legalization of drugs and the defense of gender ideology are seen as a departure from what the Creator planned for the lives of His children. And Satan knows this very well, so he spares no effort to bring to power in nations, especially the most important and influential ones, leaders and political parties that defend these ideologies and create laws so that they can be treated by society as something normal and not seen as a sin. And worse, criminalizes and condemns those who point out these practices as sinful. And you might be asking now, but where does Donald Trump fit into this story? How can a man with such a dirty past be seen as a savior of the homeland in this case? First, it is important to make it clear that neither Donald Trump nor any other president in the world is a savior of the homeland. They are human beings, full of defects like any of us. But talking about Trump, despite his flaws and a past full of dark stories, he ended up becoming a central figure for many Christians in the United States. During his term, he promoted policies that many believe reflect biblical values, such as the defense of religious freedom and the right to life. Trump has the support of the vast majority of the Christian people in the United States because these people see in his actions Christian principles that go far beyond his personal morality. When Donald Trump announced that he would run for the presidency of the United States again, and became the favorite in the polls to defeat the current president, Joe Biden, he began to suffer a series of persecutions and accusations, many of them unfair. However, he continued with his campaign until Saturday, July 13th, when he suffered the attack that almost cost him his life, with the bullet passing just 3 centimeters from his skull. How can we not think that Donald Trump remaining alive was not a deliverance from God? How can we not imagine that an angel deflected that bullet so that it did not kill the candidate at that moment? If Donald Trump had died at that rally, Biden's election would be guaranteed, because there would not be enough time for another candidate to emerge and reverse the situation in such a short time, since the U.S. elections take place in November. And one more important thing, God uses whoever He wants to fulfill His purposes here on earth. He does not care about Trump's past, much less his often questionable character. If the Lord wants His plans to be put into practice, He will use whoever He wants, in the way He wants. It was like that with Pharaoh, in the times of Joseph, and it was like that with Nebuchadnezzar in various situations. The great truth is that when the policies debated in the elections confront directly with the Word of God, the elections become a battlefield. And in these cases, we Christians are called to discern not only which candidate is less bad, but which one defends policies that promote justice, peace, and well-being according to biblical principles. Therefore, it is so necessary that we are always connected to God through the knowledge of the Bible, seeking to understand how the values not only of the candidates but of political ideologies are aligned with the word of the Lord. Watch now the interview of Pastor Brandon Biggs, recorded on March 14th, 2024.
Because the Lord told me, He said, I am not done with America. Amen. He said, there's going to be a new wave of patriotism coming out. And that's whenever I saw Trump, and I saw a red wave coming out of Michigan. And then I saw Oklahoma, and there was embers of people, and they were all on they had torches all throughout Oklahoma, and they were raising up these torches that looked like fire. And they were bringing forth a new patriotism upon the nation. And it was being birthed, and it just kept spreading like fire all throughout America, all throughout. And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again, winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting. And then there will be a great economy crash. Yeah. I saw they had a great economy plan, a crash. Yeah. Worse than the Great Depression. And the Lord warned me about this. It would be a great dark time. But I saw paddles coming upon America's soil like a shocking of the soil. And I saw Donald Trump praying in the office of the Oval Office, and he was weeping before the Lord with his hands on his head like this, but he was weeping. And there was ministers and people, I don't know if they were senators or Congress people or whatever, I just saw them pacing and back and forth inside of the White House. What is the White House? But it's the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were interceding all inside there, and I could feel the presence of the Lord. And then I could see that darkness that was the heaviness upon America with the financial crisis of what I saw coming. It started to lift above the trees, and I saw the blue and the things coming back out, and the green times and the good times coming back again. But the Lord said it would be forth a time of a season of a shaking, and it would be a shaking to awaken. And in this, this would basically that He was not done with America. There would be a great revival come, and it's not all doom and gloom. That's what He said. The sky's not falling. There's a time of, it's like people would say, this is judgment. And the Lord said, do not call this judgment. It's not my judgment. It's a correction.
If you liked this message and this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. May God bless you powerfully.